Welcome back to Visual Design for Multimedia. We're still working in WordPress, and today we are going to wrap up one of our final lessons here on how to create an XML sitemap and how to work on some SEO optimization, including options to install Google Analytics into your website. So first of all, we're talking about sitemaps. So basically this is an XML file, a simple kind of text-based code format that's going to allow search engines like Google to discover, update, and index all the content on your website. It's a very simple file, and this is what it looks like. I have it installed here on my test site here, FlowILM, and it basically shows all this. There's not a lot in this website yet, so obviously there's not a lot to show here yet, but it shows you a basic sitemap and when things were modified and the URL of the sitemap so that you can kind of check things out and see what all is part of my website. And different frequencies, changes, updates, everything like that. There's a lot inside that XML document. But basically it's going to generate that document on your site, and then you can submit that, and Google's going to be able to index your site a whole lot better. So I've included some links on some tutorials out there that go into more options as far as like other plugins that you can use. Now WordPress does have a built-in sitemap generator. I think just a version or two ago that they created. I think it was in version 5.5, but it's currently it doesn't have a lot of features to it. You can't really like change much on it. So I recommend still using a plugin. So right now I went to plugins, add new plugin, and if I just show you, I already installed it, but you would add a new. There's a lot out there. There's Yoast. There's like the all-in-one plugin system. Both of those I had difficulty getting to work on Bluehost. For some reason, it would not generate the sitemap file properly. I think there's some things that have to happen to my WP config file to make that work. I'm not sure what the issue is there, but I have to dig into it a little bit more. But anyway, I was able to get a plugin that I've used quite a bit in the past that's called Google XML Sitemaps to work. And it's a really simple, straightforward. So as soon as you activate it, it goes to work. And you can find its settings. It's then, like once it's activated, you go to Settings and come down here to XML Sitemap. And very quickly, it shows you where your URL is. So if I click on this, I already kind of showed it to you, but it takes you right to your XML sitemap page that you can submit. A lot of times your site would be like flowilm.com/sitemap.xml, but I think it works around a little bit based on what's going on with the Bluehost server configuration. So this is the one we're going to work with, is index.php $XML_sitemap parameters, etc., etc. So it had to kind of work around the particular system. I don't know the ins and outs on why I had to make it that way. But anyway, it created a sitemap. And then you actually have this option to notify the search engines of your sitemap. So you can click on these, and a ping was executed to send that off to all of your main search engines out there. And then if you click on that next link, it'll show you it's sent to Google, Bing, and all the variations on those sitemaps. On the various posts and parameters that it's sent off. So it updates and sends them a little ping letting them know, which is great. So very automated, very simple moving forward. It's going to send up update notifications here. You can try to automatically compress the sitemap. That's fine. I left that on by default, and include sitemap in HTML format so it can be read through the browser. Not a whole ton of bells and whistles, but you can exclude certain categories if you don't want them to be indexed. So if you have certain categories on your websites, or you can exclude specific posts that you don't want to. So it gives you a little more control than the automatic one built into WordPress. And just how frequent that they should look for changes. So you can kind of set different things on your home page, your posts, static pages, categories, and tool it to like what is changing the most on your site, so that then it is indexing all of that information according to kind of like the rhythm of your website. And then you can update with the update button at the bottom. So really simple, straightforward. There are more complex systems out there, but I think this this particular plugin works really, really well, and yeah, it's worked on other websites, and so I wanted to recommend it to you guys without having to do a lot of manual configurations on your website. So that's simple. You can basically generate your sitemap, submit the link to the sitemap on that part of your assignment for this project, and you're good to go on the sitemap. Now, as far as SEO optimization goes, then we start stepping into some other directions. One of the big ones I like to show everybody is that you can go to this, and I link this in the assignment or the lesson for today, how to go to the Google Search Console. And so right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and submit the URL, either the domain or subdomain, or you can put in a specific URL to verify whichever one. I'm going to go with domain for this one, and I'm going to go ahead and put in flowilm.com and continue. So this is one way to do it, and this will allow you to basically do a DNS configuration. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can go the other way as well. So instructions for, let's see if Bluehost is in here, any DNS provider. So you can copy this text below and put this, basically you have to go to your DNS configuration and paste that in, and then you'd be able to verify your site. So I'm going to do verify later, and I'm going to do it through the URL prefix as well. So let's try over here. So flowilm.com. Oh, sorry, I had to put in the HTTP. There we go. And now I can download this file. And basically, I'm going to want to upload this file. So I'm going to basically go ahead and I'm going to get on my FTP server here in just a second. And we're going to go ahead and, yeah, kind of move forward here. So give me 1 second. Go to my downloads folder. And I'm going to go to CyberDuck or whatever your FTP software is of choice. And I'm going to upload this. And now we should be able to verify it. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see what the problem was here. So, all right, so I figured out why that wasn't working to verify that HTML file. I was in the wrong directory on my site. Last time I had come in here, I think I was in like my WP content and like my theme directory. And then I think I had put that probably in like one of these. Yeah, so I put it in the wrong place. I had it in a theme directory. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it out of there. And you want this in your public HTML folder. So this is like, all the way out where you're seeing like index.html, your WP content folders, everything here. So this is where you want to upload it. So now if I drag it in here, there we go. Now that's up on my main site, and we should be able to verify now. Of course not. Let's try that again. Come on. Okay, well, let's take a look one more time. It's in the public HTML. Let's just see if we can pull it up. flowilm/. That's it. It's there. That's what it says in the file. So I am not sure why it's unable to verify. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because my site isn't www. Oh, there we go. It just took a second for it to publish. So I just had to wait a second. I don't know why. It just didn't do it the first time around. There we go. So it is working. Great. So then I can go to the property here. Great. And it's going to take you through over through to kind of show you how everything's going. Got it. Excellent. And so now you have access to all these things. Obviously, there's no performance information here. You're going to have to check back in a day or two. And then you'll be able to come into here in your Search Console and see some of the data that Google is collecting on your site. And you can look at performance, and you can look at a URL inspection, all of that fun stuff. And specific like ones under flowilm.com. You can check to see if there's a sitemap. So we could go ahead and go back and grab that sitemap link as well and submit it here, which is great. So let me go ahead and go back to flowilm. Oh, whoops. Let's go to our dashboard. Go down to Settings, XML, and bring it here. And now we can copy this last bit here after flowilm.com and go to our sitemaps and submit. Excellent. So now they have the sitemap submitted on the system. And it's just going to help Google to find all of our information a lot better. And then you can come back to this console, like I said, in a day or two, and you could get more information. So it looks like it's just going to need more time to find that. It's definitely submitted. It couldn't fetch it yet, but give it a little bit of time, and I'm sure it'll come back. And so, yeah, they should be able to get everything that they need. And Google will have more information on us. Now, if you want to, you could go also into installing some of the Google Analytics tools out there. So there's, even more that we can do. So we can go ahead and sign up for Google Analytics. That's another system. So we had just gone to the Search Console. I'm going to go ahead and hide this URL. And we can set up for free. And you can give it an account name. So I might call this, I'm in my Coaction Lab. So right now you do have to be signed in to like a Google account, and that's what it's going to put it under. So I'm going to give it an account name here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add a property to our account system now that we've set up our account. So we're on the home page of Analytics. I'm going to come down here to the bottom and click on Admin. And I'm going to click on Create Property. And right out of the bat, there's actually like a Google Analytics 4, and then there's this like universal system. We want to use the universal system, which is a little bit older, but works with the WordPress plugin system. The Analytics 4 does not work with some of the plugin systems. So to get that older universal one, we want to click on this Show Advanced button here. And we're going to want to toggle that over to create a universal analytics property. So we can give it a property name. So we'll call this Flow ILM site. And then you can, if there's currency US dollars, that's fine. For my time here, I'm probably going to put in like New York instead of Los Angeles, if I can find it here. Oh boy, where is New York? There it is, New York time, Eastern Seaboard. And then I do have HTTPS. If you didn't, you would do HTTP, but ours do have a secure website. We have secure authentication. So I'm going to go ahead and put in flowilm.com. And we don't really want the create both an Analytics 4 and a universal. We just want to create a universal property. Okay, I'm going to hit Next. You can fill this out accordingly. I'm going to say small here, other, education, and create. And there we go. This is the main number we need, this UAI ID number. But go ahead and leave this tab open, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and go back to our website. All right, great. Whoops. Let me go here. I was on the wrong section there. So I'm going to go to the dashboard and go to my plugins. Actually, there it is, Insights. And we're going to launch the setup wizard. Just came up right away. I'm going to stick with publisher, but if this was a business, I do business or e-commerce if that's what I had. Connect Monster Insights. I am logged into my current Coaction Lab Google account. So you have to have a Google account to make this work, obviously. And I'm going to go ahead and allow it. There we go, Flow ILM, all website data, and complete connection. There we go. Not too bad. And for right now, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and save and continue, save and continue, finish. And we should be pretty good at this point. So, you know, it's going to take a little while for reports to build in. You're not going to have a lot of information yet, but you are now connected to the Google Analytics setup. You come back in a day or two and you're going to have a whole graph readout of all the different folks that are visiting your site, average session duration, bounce rate, all of that. So, not too bad, but the key is really making sure that you do that universal setup. If you do the Google Analytics 4, it is not going to work, okay? And if you want to do it manually, which is the other option instead of that automatic, this UA number is what you need for the Google Analytics. All right, that's about it for now. Keep in mind, Jetpack does have sort of like a little built-in site stats. There's not a lot. It's not as good as Google Analytics, not nearly. But it does do some pretty cool site stats. So if you don't want to go down the whole Google Analytics route, you do have this built in. But Google Analytics is really going to put all the site stats with SEO optimization, all of that. So, you know, definitely an important step for you in the future to think about. All right, we're going to stop there for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you as always for tuning in.